Hello, everybody. It's JB, Jeremy Borash. I'm inside the beautiful home of TNA President Dixie Carter, who has been kind enough to let us in here today, ask a few questions as we look forward to 2013 and reflect a little bit on 2012. What a beautiful house you have here.
Thank you for coming. Glad you're here.
It's very festive.
Thanks.
The tree's beautiful.
And we are in our living room, our formal living room, which we never use. Most wasted room in the house, but it is the home of our kids' Christmas tree, so we love that.
And the Christmas tree looks very lovely
Thank
this year.
you.
Some presents under it and everything.
Yeah.
Christmas, favorite time of year for you?
Absolutely. I'm not a cold weather person, but I do love the holidays, so love that time of year.
Any Christmas traditions around the Carter household this year?
Yeah, we go to Dallas for a few days and see family there, and then we usually head to our ranch in Texas, and then we sneak away for a few days to Mexico. So that is a very blessed time of year for us.
Well, obviously feeling blessed. 2012, quite a year.
It's amazing. You and I were just sitting here talking, 10 years, wow, how far we've come. All the production in this room, I said to you, is probably more than we spent on production in the first year. It's a joke, but it's not far from it, you know. And I just think back on being in business for 10 years and what that means, especially when so few people thought we'd be in existence. I mean, there were times when I was worried about it, you know, but I'm so proud of where we're at. It was a big year. You know, going live was big, and you know, I got spiked to do it just for a little test run in the summer, and I knew once I got them to agree to that, we would have them hooked, and it would be hard to go back. So, you know, that's added a whole new, I think, vitality to the show. It's been fun for the guys, so just another big step for us to take.
And 2012 also, of course, brought on a lot of great action in the ring. The Stars brought it again for another year. Where are your feelings at with the roster from 2012 and what you saw?
Well, you know, I think in our company's history, we have never been in a better place behind the scenes. The locker room, how everybody's working together as a team, the camaraderie, the attitudes, the leadership amongst the guys. It's so great for me to see the guys that started so young in this company 10 years ago step up and truly be the locker room leaders that we have today. And that's one of the most fulfilling aspects about where we're at right now. We're starting to involve them more in things that they've never been involved in. Agents meetings, you know, getting their input on certain things.
So wrestlers that weren't previously part of that are now part of that process?
And I just think that it's a really great time. I just, like I said before, there's never been a time in our history where we've all been so close, so tight. Maybe when we very, very first began, but back then we weren't really a family because we were just getting to know each other, and you know, there were people coming kind of in and out. But I think it's really settled into something that is pretty beautiful, and I'm very proud of.
A lot to be proud of in 2012, and I know it's got to be a little, I don't want to say exhausting, but looking ahead to 2013, that everything is in place to be a big year. And you've shared some comments with me privately about what you want 2013 to be. I'm curious if you want to share with the rest of the world. You
know, I wish I could share those things right now, but not yet. I will tell you, like, you just started mentioning that to me, and I get this, you know, kind of chilly feeling all over, because I feel like, you know, 2010 was a huge accomplishment, but I really feel like 2013, if things go according to plan, will be the tipping point for this company, where we really take it to another level. And so I hope when we're sitting here a year from now, we'll be looking back and talking about something pretty magnificent.
Something pretty magnificent is TNA going to Texas for the first time, the Alamo, not Texas, but to San Antonio for the first time, the Alamo Dome. Lockdown.
Very excited about that. Well, you know, we went to Dallas, which we'd never taken a televised show there. We'd only done in 10 years maybe 2 small house shows. And so that was a big night. Sting being announced as our first Hall of Fame inductee. But, you know, I've been holding back on San Antonio. I kept looking down, and it would be on the books for a house show. And I was like, we got to hold it for something big for the first time. And I'm very excited. I spent a lot of time, my husband Serge and he used to work there. He used to sing in that area. And so we spent a good bit of time there. We met on a movie set that took us to San Antonio. And so we have ties there. It's a beautiful city, one of my favorite cities, and I'm excited for, to bring such a huge show to that city for the first time.
I guess as we're sitting here in December, that's months away. Let's talk about the here and now, the future, the coming up next month.
Yeah.
We are going to be back over to the United Kingdom for our biggest tour ever. Right. And your thoughts and how that all came about, really?
Well, this will be our biggest tour over there yet. And I am excited because we're taking 4 shows, 4 impacts that will be originating from 2 from Manchester and 2 from Wembley Arena in London. And, we just talk about it all the time. The crowds over there are electric. I wish we could take a show, even to that venue we play in Dublin that's just so crazy and loud. It's like being in a giant bar, It's wonderful. And I just think that it'll be a special time because we have the British boot camp kids that will be there, and they will be a part of it. And then, the 4 television tapings. So very, very excited about it.
Unprecedented, really, that we're going to be doing an entire month of television programming in the United Kingdom. Is that a trend? Do you think that could happen other places?
Well, I think a month down under sounds good. I think, it definitely could be. I think we have got to get out more and take our television show to the road and let more people see it. We've done it a few times. It's been very, very successful. But I got to tell you, those shows, we have fun. We tell people, this is not, if you're not here to sit down, sit on your ears, we want you to stand up, be rowdy, and just, have a great time. And so they're very special tapings, and so that's the energy I know that we're going to get from the United Kingdom, and I'm looking forward to seeing what other places we go to next.
While we're talking about the United Kingdom, tell the fans about British Boot Camp. What is this? We've been hearing a lot about it.
This is our first go at a reality show, and it's one that I'm very, very excited about. You have had a tremendous hand in. Very proud of you and your efforts. But we found 4 really talented young wrestlers there. And I think that we have followed them from the very beginning. We have watched this process, the good part of it, the kind of crazy part of it that most people don't get to see. And I know it's going to make for great TV. Very excited.
Well, everybody's excited for British Boot Camp, no question about it.
Yeah.
But I'm excited because social media is such a big part of Impact Wrestling, and I know you've taken a liking to Twitter, you're on Facebook, you communicate with fans constantly.
I love it. I think I'm sometimes sitting there having instant communications with people, and they're like, this isn't really you, this is an assistant, and it's always me. I never let anybody answer those questions, and I only direct message people. I rarely retweet for everybody to see, but I love that. I love hearing directly from people, and I love being able to communicate back.
What do you think as far as occupying... if you're in a lot of airports, on the go a lot, I would imagine that having something like Twitter or having something like Facebook as a social media outlet is very good for you because you're able to constantly get feedback on things that happened just minutes ago.
You're right. It is great when we do have something big happen. I can literally follow people's thoughts and comments in real time, and that's great. But it also is when I do have some downtime, that's when I just love really getting in there and just see what everybody's saying and what they're feeling about something completely unrelated to something that's happening in the now, and have those conversations with people. And it's really good insight. This is why we're here. We're here for those wonderful people who have kept us in business and have supported us for all the years. Those that have been with us from the beginning and those just finding us or coming back after years. So it's a great way to let them know how much we care.
Well, let's let them know right now. I've got a boatload of questions, and I really just took, literally 1,000 responses came in, so I just took probably some of the more frequently asked questions that we will hit you. 2013.
Yes.
Will TNA continue to be live?
If I have my say, we absolutely will continue to be live. There may be a few incidents that we tape, but I think those will still be very favorable to the viewing situation. So we'll leave it at that. But yes, the answer is yes.
What do you see in the X Division in 2013?
The X Division, it's been a heartbreaking division in some ways. We've had so many injuries, and I think it speaks to how dangerous what those guys do. are. I mean, wrestling in general is very dangerous, but the high-flying X Division style is incredibly dangerous, and we have been marred with some really difficult injuries. Chris Sabin, you know, a knee injury, to come back on his first show and blow out his other knee is just like, it's just hard to even swallow that. You know, of course, Jesse Sorensen. To me, I saw visions of a young AJ Styles when I looked at him, and that night he came out and I said, you know, that's the future right there of our X Division. And, you know, to have that horrible, you know, tragic injury happen within minutes into that match, that's something I don't ever want to have to go through again. But I'm excited about where we're at. I think the tournament that we did this summer, we found some really exciting players for us, and you will be seeing a greater focus on them and the X Division in 2013 for sure.
It's an interesting question that came in. How much of your focus is directed at your competition in the wrestling world?
Very little, but obviously theirs is not focused on ours, because from what I hear on Twitter and social media, you know, there's a lot of things that are happening at our competition that, you know, we may have been doing first. And so I take that as a great compliment. I, you know, do watch some. I don't watch all the time, but I do keep up. I have people who, you know, give good feedback and everything else. But, you know, really, we've been so laser focused on what we're doing that we're coming up with new and innovative things and innovative ways to watch wrestling. And obviously people are taking note and they think it's pretty good and they should do it too. But I'm very proud of that.
Obviously there's a lot of talk about the knockouts. And tell us what's been going on with your thoughts on the knockouts in 2013, how it looked.
I have always been very vocal about being so proud of this division. I am confident that there's not another organization in the world who has the caliber of women on their roster that we do, really male and female, there's no doubt. But the women in particular, they have a special place in my heart and in our company. It's important for me that they be portrayed a certain way. And, you know, even though, you know, a network or somebody may want to see more from them, I don't want to ever do anything from just a gratuitous standpoint. It's a ridiculous waste of television. I'm not saying that that's, you know, a lot of people don't love that, but, you know, for me, I feel like we have to be a little extra careful as a female running a company that women are portrayed the right way. And I love a beautiful, sexy woman who is as talented as our women are, and I love giving them a vehicle to be able to share that. But we've got some exciting ideas for the knockouts in 2013 I think people will love.
What is the one thing you read on social media about that you get the most criticism for?
Gosh, I don't know. Of late, you know, it's much more positive than negative. You know, the only thing I could think of would be, you know, bring back this talent. You know, why did you let Velvet Sky go? Well, I never did, but, you know, it's just, you can't respond to some of these things. You know, I know something that other people may not know, but I guess that would be it. You know, in the past, it's been creative direction, but lately it has not been. I'm real proud of where we're at creatively. As a company, I don't think our product has ever been as good as it is now, and I am the first to say, if you've not watched our show in a long time, it's time you come back and watch, because it's really good. I'm very, very proud of it. So not a lot of creative complaints at all. It would be more specific talent related, like why is somebody not on the show? Well,
let me flip the question then. What is the best compliment you get? The most frequent compliment you get?
You know, I guess just right now it would be how good the creative is. You know, there's always the compliments, you know, which I find funny from 18-year-old boys and stuff about me and being a female and all that other stuff, which is very humorous. But I think the thing of late is just the creative direction, the use of the young talent. I think in the past, another thing that we got criticized a lot on is, why do you have so many old wrestlers in there? And why is your focus on all of these old established stars? And honestly, we listened, and I feel like we're at a great place having, the two greatest, to me, iconic names, Sting and Hulk Hogan, on the show, and in a really young, creative, fresh, hip way. I mean, I watched the show last night with, Hulk and Bully Ray, and I mean, that pre-tape just blew me away, and when they're together and the interaction, I mean, I think it's just the perfect blend of those guys, I think, are doing their best work ever. Our young guys are doing their best work ever, and our young guys are helping us find the new and upcoming guys. So it's just a really good blend, again, that used to be a big criticism for us that, is a big compliment now.
Last question about television and whatnot. Any changes you see in the forecast in the future? More programming, less programming, different programming?
Worldwide, yes. Worldwide, we have had tremendous success in, launching different shows. Domestically, not so much stuff. It's not because, it's really because, we have a certain contract with Spike that, keeps us with them under certain guidelines. But I think in 2013, you'll see us start to break some of those. They've been a fantastic partner, and they want to see us succeed on such a much bigger level that, we're going to work with them to change that and to bring more programming in the United States, which is where we really need it, to TNA.
A couple more quick questions.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan, 2013, what do you see for him?
If what he's doing right now is any indication, it's going to be maybe his best year with us by far, but I think his best year in the last decade or more. It's hard to compare the Andre the Giant, big things that he did, but where he's at right now, oh my gosh, he is on fire, and he is so integral to where we're going creatively and helping develop these young guys and working with them to really, and they're all such fans, so it's an interesting dynamic to see, but, he's in every agents meeting and working on creative. It's amazing. So behind the camera, behind the scenes, and in front of the camera, I couldn't ask for any more.
Jeff Hardy.
Yes.
You've obviously been able to help motivate him to quite a comeback over the last 2 years.
You know what? I'll tell you a true story. There was a time many years ago that Jeff and I had a conversation right back behind the go position. And I just said to him, I said, you're so good, but you're not even trying. I said, I think on your best day, you may be a 4 out of a 10. And look at your response. I go, what would happen if you really took it seriously? What would happen if you cared that much to really just give it everything? And it's not that he's amazing. You can never take anything back from him. But I think it's just, he's one of those beings that it comes so naturally to him. It's like that talented musician that doesn't realize that they're a virtuoso singer or guitar player because they don't have to try. It comes so effortlessly. And there's some of these wrestlers who work at it so hard and, long in the training and everything else, and what am I going to do to get the crowd react? And he stands there and, he does his dance, or, he'll do something like that, and he's never had to try. But right now, you know what? He is so proud to be the TNA World Heavyweight Champion, and I have, in my tenure with him, which is the only thing I can ever speak to, in my tenure with him, I've never seen him as determined and as focused, and we're working on some exciting projects outside of wrestling together, and very, very, very proud of him more than anything else where he is in his life, as a father, as a husband. He's very special.
Certainly is, no question about it. All right, couple rapid fires
yes.
here. TNA go to Australia.
We absolutely have to, and I feel like the biggest bait and switch of saying we're coming, I know we're working on it. It's been a real challenge because it's a big undertaking for us to do that. We're just trying to find that right time of year, that right venue, and I think we're much closer, but we absolutely, positively have to go down there.
As far as any thoughts in as Mexico as a market?
Mexico is definitely a priority. Mexico, South America, there's some things working for us down there. We have had a relationship with AAA down there, which has been very good, but we need to grow it beyond that. Our television is starting to, we've just been on a very, very small network down there, and there's some hopefully exciting things, I would say, in the next, as soon as 6 to 9, 12 months from now that we'll see.
Do you see Impact going on the road more in 2013?
I hope so. That's my New Year's Eve resolution.
Really?
I would love it to be, of course.
Yeah.
I've wanted it since day one. It's just, I'm not going to make a decision where it's going to put your livelihood and everybody in this room's livelihood and all of our wrestlers and their family at risk. And so I think it's much more important that we do things the right way. And if we do it, then it'll be the right thing.
Your best moment of 2012?
Oh, it's got to be Dallas. Being there with at that sold-out arena, a beautiful brand new arena, and announcing that Sting was our first Hall of Fame inductee. And it's crazy to think, but he, in a million years, he didn't think it was him. I think you're the one that told him to go.
I said, no, Sting, this is really for you.
Yeah. And he told me that story. I mean, the Hall of Fame induction was a great night. It really was. But Dallas was a very special pay-per-view. Our 10 years, celebrating 10 years. I mean, I can look in your eyes, and our data bank goes back to so many memories of, like I said before, the challenging times. But I wouldn't trade them for anything because it makes you appreciate it so much more, all of these great things that are happening to us. But that was a real culmination, a time to really sit back and go, wow, we've worked really hard, and look at where we're at now. And the good thing is we're just getting started.